Welcome to Java. Thank you kindly for joining me. It's August 29th, 2025. It is also Friday. Now, we've got some inflation numbers coming out prior to the market open. The Fed's favored gauge, the PCE. So, Friday, Flation day, but also into vacation because we've got a bit of respite going into holiday. Markets are closed Monday for Labor Day in the United States, where we celebrate work by, of course, not working. So, markets will be closed on Monday, expecting some volatility toward the end of the day as traders, in short, clean off their desks, so to speak, and go home for the holidays. Now, institutional sellers will leave a bit earlier, so typically we do see that. But let's get started with what's going on in the markets. Now, we've got fear, greed. The meter rating is clearly still in greed territory. Yesterday had a good day. It did go up as we kind of expected, with the probabilities being what they were. Now, volatility is increasing, and we're watching the futures look quite a bit weak. Now, we'll know more after the inflation numbers come out. Now, inflation is set to increase, no doubt about that. The only question is how much and how rapidly. So the markets could react to that. Other than that, it's looking a bit quiet, so to speak, coming into this weekend, which opens it up for events to happen if that's indeed what they want. Now, this market does have an additional day to kind of even out whatever might happen over the weekend. So it could be quite a bit of volatility right after hours when you cannot trade. So, taking a quick look at this, daily driver of fear and greed, definitely greed still at the moment. However, futures going to fall off, as I said. Institutional traders leave early, typically, and there's a bit of sell off, which there isn't much recovery, could end relatively flat to down. We'll see what happens after this core inflation number. So, you've got futures are saying that it's a little bit weak. We've got Dell, Marvell, and Alibaba earnings are coming up today. Now, Dell and Marvell are both on the artificial intelligence play that is going on, moving to data centers. Alibaba is if you will, the Chinese version of Amazon. So a lot of that has to do with trade deals. We've got gold's weekly gain pushing near to a record prior to this inflation data. So if gold holds 3,400 and can break through the 3,500 level, could set, and it confirms, could set higher numbers in for gold going forward. But it's at a point where you have to watch for that confirmation because it could go either way. And we've got silver also against resistance at 40 is the level there, just below 40. Oil is quite weak. So we'll see what this leads going forward. On our calendar, as I said, getting core PCE prior to the market open 8:30 a.m. And then we're also getting trade balances, but the big one is going to be the inflation numbers that will guide that cut narrative as to whether it will happen or not. So, a couple of things. As I was saying, Marvell stock falling after earnings did not live up to the artificial intelligence hype. And Dell also, the business is booming, their stock is falling. So we're watching a general weakness in the artificial intelligence narrative. Yesterday, I also spoke a little bit about how the engineers that Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook and Meta had purchased from other corporations. In short, he uh, kind of guided them away, if you will, but they're already leaving, quitting, even with those eye-watering salaries, if you will. So there's something behind all of this, and it's urging a bit of caution since the largest sector of technology is driven by artificial intelligence, has been the magic words to say in order to make stocks go up, could have serious implications for the reverse. Now, we've got Pult slashing federal home loan bank board seats. This, in short, they're talking about especially dark blue areas of the electoral map in the United States. In short, that is the liberalism. They are cutting the home loan bank board seats. So these are the government-backed mortgage systems, if you will, for the Democratic leaning, which typically are the ones that are much more likely to give incentives away, so to speak, on the government dollars, taxpayers. So if they cut these seats, it kind of levels out the play for housing as far as giveaways and could have serious implications from housing. And that also filters out. So we've got two things here. We've got the kind of the economy, as they say, which is the stock market, the technology sector, as it is kind of represented by this artificial intelligence bubble. And then we've got the real economy, which is the construction, the building, and housing. Both of these appear to be having some serious headwinds here and could have some mean popping. So a little bit of caution going into this weekend. And it's kind of set up for possible false flags. So with that, I want to bring up one other story that came across. Now, it's not necessarily markets, but it's Venezuela preparing for a potential US attack with armed drone designed by Iran is the narrative. So, what in the world would Venezuela be doing using drones that were designed by Iran? Because to the last of my knowledge, they were not known for their drone capabilities or their high-end design. But what this does is ties in Houthis to Venezuela. Now, it just so happens the United States, in the name of the drug trade, has a couple of destroyers parked off of the shore of Venezuela, as well as some submarine and other military assets. So, a lot of expectations for things going there, as they are not buying the Make America Great Again narrative. So, just urging a little bit of caution here, a little bit of awareness of what's going on. No short one this morning, but really everything is going to hinge on those core numbers and how the market takes it. So there won't be anything on Monday morning as the markets are closed. So we'll be back on Tuesday. So until I see you again, my friends, resist.